Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we are going to review Slotracers VR, a game released on the Steam store March 4th, 2021 by developer Team Irradiated. It's available for the HTC Vive, Valve Index, and the Oculus Rift. It normally retails for $24.99. I got a free Steam key through the Steam Curator Connect program to review this game. I tested this game out on the Oculus Quest 2 using the Oculus Link cable. For those of you unfamiliar with slot car racing, I suggest looking it up on YouTube and checking out some videos of slot car racing, and it'll give you a better understanding of what this game was going for. And in that regard, it is a success. It brings slot car racing to the masses. It makes it something that's affordable, something that's easy to get into, and you can do things here in Slotracers VR that would probably be cost prohibitive in real life for most people. And for those of you still unfamiliar with slot car racing, basically what it is, it's radio controlled race cars, little model race cars that you put on a track on a certain slot. And really the trick here is to keep the car within the track and not let it get out of the track. So you have to control the gas, the pedal, and that's basically your main control here. You're only using the gas control pedal to control the vehicle, and it's just a matter of how fast you can go without leaving a lane of travel or even maybe crashing into other slot car racers. And I have to be honest here, I really enjoyed the model car racetracks. They all look very lovely. There's day and night scenes and they're very scenic little dioramas almost, but the actual racing itself, for me at least, wasn't all that thrilling. It's a very technical racer and it really can be quite difficult to keep track of your model race car in VR. It's hard to get a good angle to always keep it in view while it's racing around at pretty fast speeds, and then you're just controlling the triggers. So if you want to go fast, you pull the trigger all the way, you're going pretty fast, but you're likely to get off the roadway. But if you go too slow, obviously you're going to be lapped by the other vehicles. And this game does start off pretty easy. You just kind of have to find a sweet spot, and you can keep the trigger pulled at that pressure area or pressure spot, and you'll be able to win the race. But once you get into some of the other more difficult, more technical races, you'll actually have to go full speed during certain sections of the racetrack and then very quickly pull off the gas pedal as you're nearing a curve, and it does get more difficult, and it can just be very difficult to keep track of your vehicle, especially in some of the night tracks. However, the big attraction for Slotracers VR is actually not the races themselves, but the actual in-game editor, which allows you to create your own tracks that you can race in, and you can even upload them to the Steam Workshop. And this is actually something that's very easy to use, and it's got lots of robust tools to make it very interesting. And I had an absolute blast making my own racetrack, and you'll see this in the later half of the video where I make my own racetrack and I upload it on the Steam Workshop, and I'm really happy with the way it came out. I had a lot of fun doing that. It was very chill. I liked all the tools available to make my racetrack the way that I wanted, and the only thing is I wish there were even more tools. It's that fun to use. The in-game editor is one of the easiest ones I've had the pleasure of using in VR, and believe it or not, it was the in-game editor that really changed my mind about this game and really let me give slot racing a second chance. Sure, the racing itself isn't the best type of racer in VR. Like I said before, you're really only using the trigger and then you're just using the pressure on the trigger, but the little racetracks you race in are a joy to view, and they're even better to try to create from your mind with the tools available to try to make the best racetrack your mind can dream of with these tools. And I am super excited to upload my creation to the Steam Workshop, and I hope some of you watching will download it and let me know what you think in the comments below. Is it a good racetrack? Did you enjoy the scenery? Did you enjoy the layout of the track? And if you want to edit my creation and make it your own, you have my permission to do so, and if you can make it better, then that's just good for everyone, and I would really appreciate any comments on that. I enjoyed creating it. I hope you do too, and I think that's where this game really shines, is in the in-game editor, and why I do recommend it. Slotracers VR is running on the Unity engine. On my RTX 3080, I was getting variable frame rates. It was usually at 90 frames per second. However, I did notice several frame rate drops in the middle of gameplay that did affect gameplay, so beware of that. This game does need optimization, and that is is very unfortunate because the last thing you want is any kind of stutter or slowdown while you're racing. It really does bring down the experience, and I hope that's something the developer is working on, because the visuals are fantastic and this is just a really cool, very chill game to play once you get out of the mindset that this is just like any other racer. It really isn't, and if you compare it to other racing games in VR, you'll probably be disappointed, and I don't think this game is right for everyone. But if you're looking for a cool, chill gameplay with racing, then this is the game for you. It's very relaxing to play, and it's just beautiful to see these little dioramas where you can race in and then try to make your own, or see what other players have created with this in-game editor. You do have full locomotion, and you do have smooth and snap turning options, as well as a teleportation option. I wish you could speed up the smooth turning, although I do like that you can change the angle of the snap turning. There are some graphical settings, and as you can see by the video, I did lower super sampling all the way back down to 100%. I think I had originally had it like at 130%, then I lowered it to 110%, then finally I lowered it to 100%, but I was still experiencing those stutters. It did not seem to improve the frame rate issue that I spoke about earlier. I hope that gets fixed by the developer. There is a single player campaign, and there are 27 total racetracks. There's 10 cars available with different characteristics and looks, and there's multiple paint jobs for each of those cars. There's day, night, evening, and morning races as well. There's 3 different theme locations, including the American West, which you see in this video, and the races generally get more difficult as you move along in the progression for the campaign. In fact, it's super easy to get silver or even gold in some of the beginning races, but it gets more difficult as you go along in the campaign, and by the time you get to the American West and you get some of the nighttime races, it becomes pretty difficult to place in the top 3 or the top 2 to get those silver and bronze unlocks. Keep in mind, the more cars there are in the race, the more difficult it is, because you can end up crashing with some of those intersections in this game. Now, there's also online PvP. Unfortunately, I was unable to test that, so I can't comment too much about that, but you can check the leaderboards and see where you stand with your races against the AI, and you'll see other players there in the leaderboard. So like I said, I wasn't that crazy about the racing itself, but creating my own in-game racetrack helped me appreciate the type of racer that this is, and this is a slot racer. I wasn't too familiar with it. I kind of had seen it in the past, but never really paid it attention. But after seeing some videos online, I said, okay, I understand what this game was going for, and it did succeed in that. And while I still don't think it's the best type of racing in VR, I do think it's the most relaxing, and it's just a blast to make your own racetrack, and that's why I highly recommend this game. If I have to rate it, I would give it a 7 out of 10. If there's one thing I would ask for in this game, is the ability to change the terrain. And what I mean by that is I would like to be able to change the elevation, whether it's the ability to make a hole, dig deep, or add land to make it go higher. In other words, I would like terraforming to be something that's simple and easy to do when you're making your own racetrack. That would be an awesome addition to this game. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. If you like my review, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day. Goodbye, and enjoy the rest of the video.